It all started with a seemingly ordinary Monday evening. I was sitting in my living room, scrolling through emails, when my phone buzzed. It was my wife, Emma. She called, but before I could even answer, she switched to speakerphone. The moment I heard her voice, cheerful and oblivious to the storm brewing, I knew something was off. "Hey, babe. Can you believe what happened today?" she said, giggling. I smiled politely, thinking it was one of her harmless work stories. But soon, her tone shifted, and the conversation took a strange turn. "So, I met Jake for coffee," she said, laughing. I froze. "Jake." My chest tightened. "You remember Jake, right?" she continued, completely unaware of the tension her words were causing. My mind raced. I tried to keep my voice steady. "Yeah, your friend from college?" I asked carefully. Emma's laughter was light, flirtatious even. "Exactly. And we had the funniest conversation. You wouldn't believe the things he said." She rambled on, oblivious, detailing moments that, on the surface, seemed innocent, but the way she described them, the jokes, the subtle touches, the personal secrets she shared, it all felt intimate in a way that made my stomach churn. I wanted to hang up, to demand answers immediately, but part of me wanted to hear everything. Every laugh, every word, every little detail that might reveal the truth. By the end of the call, I felt hollow. Emma hadn't noticed anything wrong, and she ended the conversation with a cheerful, "Love you, talk later," before hanging up. That night, I barely slept. My mind kept replaying her words, the way she laughed at things that didn't seem to be jokes. Something in me knew that the conversation was a warning, a signal I couldn't ignore. I decided to wait until the morning. Perhaps I was overthinking it. Perhaps it was innocent. But deep down, a cold knot of fear settled in my stomach. The next day, just as I was leaving for work, my phone rang. The number was unfamiliar, but something urged me to pick up. On the other end was Emma's sister, Claire. Her voice was trembling. I don't know how to say this," she started, a note of panic threading through her words. "But I think you need to know about Emma." I felt my heart skip. "What do you mean?" I asked, my voice steadier than I felt. Claire took a deep breath. "It's about Jake. The coffee meetings, the late-night messages. Emma's been seeing him. I've known for a while, and I didn't want to get involved, but I found out yesterday she told Mom and Dad everything. They insisted I call you. They want to make sure you know the truth before it destroys you any further." I sank against the wall, phone clutched in my hand. My wife, the woman I trusted, the woman I shared everything with, had been betraying me for months. My mind flashed back to all the moments I had thought were innocent, the extra hours at work, the girls' night out, the constant texting she claimed was work-related. Now it all made sense. "Are you sure?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. Claire hesitated, then said, "I wouldn't lie about this. Mom and Dad saw the messages. They even saw pictures. I'm so sorry. I didn't want you to find out like this, but you deserve to know." I felt anger, disbelief, and heartbreak crash over me all at once. I tried to process everything, the laughter over speakerphone, the hidden meetings, the betrayal that had been meticulously hidden. My hands shook as I gripped the phone. "Thank you for telling me," I managed to say, though my voice was thick with emotion. The rest of the day was a blur. I confronted Emma when she returned home. At first, she denied it, her eyes wide, her voice trembling. But when I mentioned the call from her family, the proof they had seen, and the messages Claire described, she couldn't hold it in any longer. Her face went pale, and she finally admitted everything. I didn't mean for you to find out like this," she whispered, tears streaming down her face. I made a mistake. It didn't mean anything." Her words, meant to be comforting, felt like daggers. I realized then that this wasn't just a mistake. It was a betrayal. A deliberate, secret life she had led while I lived in trust and love. The woman I had believed in, the woman I had shared my heart and home with, had deceived me in the worst possible way. For the next few hours, we didn't speak much. I sat silently, trying to process the betrayal, while she wept quietly. I felt a mix of fury and sorrow, disbelief and clarity. This was a turning point. I had to decide not just about Emma, but about myself, about the life I wanted to lead from this moment onward. By the evening, I called Claire again. "Thank you," I said softly, "for telling me. I know it couldn't have been easy. I couldn't stand by and let this continue," she said. "I know it hurts now, but at least you know the truth before it gets worse." Her words offered a strange kind of solace. The truth, though painful, was a form of liberation. I knew what I had to do next. I had to protect myself, and I had to take control of the life that Emma had tried to manipulate and destroy. That night, I began planning my steps carefully. I would gather the evidence, speak with lawyers, and ensure that every decision I made was deliberate, measured, and aimed at reclaiming the life that had been stolen from me. Betrayal cuts deep, but it also sharpens the mind, clears the fog of illusion, and forces one to face reality with unflinching clarity. As I went to bed that night, I realized something important: the truth always finds a way to surface, no matter how carefully it is hidden. Emma's laughter over speakerphone was the first warning. Her family's call the next day confirmed it. And now, armed with the truth, I was ready to face whatever came next. I would not let betrayal define me. I would reclaim my life, my dignity, and my future. Somewhere deep inside, I felt a strange calm. The storm was coming, but I was no longer adrift in confusion or heartbreak. I knew exactly who had betrayed me, and I knew I would rise above it.